We're getting all the balloons ready for the 2008 Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I think you are going to be thrilled with our lineup of Buzz Lightyear, the Smurf balloon, and Horton Hears a Who, all flying down Broadway. Come with me, I'll show you the behind the scenes of how they're all created, from a sketch right onto the giant balloons floating down the parade route. For 8 decades now, the most famous parade in the world has had that one signature element, those giant character balloons floating through the air. They all start out as an idea, and the idea becomes a sketch, and then a rendering. But then we've got to actually get down to making the balloon. And for that, we've got to go to 3D. We start with an armature, which is kind of like the skeleton of a balloon. Over the outside of the skeleton, we're going to put muscle and skin in the form of clay. And we do this giant clay model like you hear of our friend Smurf in scale. Once we have all of the details of our clay model complete, we copy that by making a mold. Using silicone, rubber, and plastic, we make the mold that will allow us to cast 2 duplicates of that clay model. One of the duplicates we'll paint white so that we can draw in, just like a blueprint, all of the technical details, where the seams will be, where the handling lines that will attach, inflation ports, deflation ports, everything we need to construct the balloon. Then we've got to put the balloon together, and it means cutting yards and yards of fabric and seaming together literally miles of seams to make this giant inflatable that we will fill with helium and get in the air for a test flight. Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade is literally the longest show on Broadway, and like every Broadway show, once all the technical work is done, you've got to have a dress rehearsal. So we'll test fly the balloon just so we can see where our balance is and to make sure that we have all the lines that we want attached and that the anchor vehicle underneath the balloon is taking the load that we want and that all of the free lift from the helium inside the balloon is balanced out by all of our great handlers down on the ground below, and we find that out in our test flights. Believe it or not, that giant balloon from the steps of the drawings all the way to seeing it in the air comes down to a bin this size when it gets ready to go to New York. So all of them are heading over to New York for Thanksgiving morning when we're going to say, let's have a parade!